Cheers, radio.
Boom! It is episode 80, bro. Your episode big 80. Welcome back to Curious Radio. I'll be your flight. What is it? No, damn it. I fucked it up. I'll be your pilot for this flight.
Okay, your flight for the pilot.
Yeah. I fucked it up. We got a special guest in today, Miguel Angel in the studio. How do I say your last name? Caballero. I thought it was, but I didn't like it.
Caballero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, boom. Welcome on, bro. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure.
I've had everybody on, and I'm kind of like, I always like to pick on like everybody's journey a little bit. And I wanted to get you on because we talked a lot about like each other's creative like processes. And we've worked a lot together too. Like I used to before auditions. For those listening, I used to coach with Miguel, and we would. This is probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, like a year and a half.
We'd known each other before that, but I was like, I out here like people, you do coachings. You need it like when you're trying to find what to do in your audition or whatever, or looking to get like a sense of direction. You go and you coach with somebody. So we were coaching a lot together. But we had known each other before, but since then, you've really like jumped into like the directing and write. You guys are writing already. You guys have already done a movie. I remember like at your place you had all your storyboards and everything.
We use the wall to kind of put our
it's tight
outline.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of writing, man. It's just a thing that I've fell into that I do it a lot, whether I do it with a partner or just by myself every day.
You don't have any like? Did you go to school?
No, man. I took a class. I took a writing class, but it's mostly self-taught.
Tight.
I
feel like a lot of people kind of are in this era now.
I think so too, and even directing. I didn't really go to film school. I went to theater, film, and TV school, but I was theater. So, but yeah,
you got a BFA or no?
I got a BA.
Oh, nice.
In acting and theater.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think a lot of his.
Where'd you go? Sorry.
I went to UCLA.
Oh, tight, of course. Oh, that's why you know Solis and everybody and Hugo and everybody.
Yeah, he was my professor, of course. My mentor.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah,
shout out to Jose Luis.
He's wonderful, and today we still work together. So
yeah. I mean, he's still heavy. I mean, is he still teaching at UCLA?
He is. He's retiring. I think this was his last year.
No shit.
Yeah. So
my mentor, who was like one of my mentors, who taught me the music teacher, is retiring this year too. I've been working with him in the music department at my old high school.
Wow.
And he's retiring this year too, and I'm like, damn. That's so crazy that he is too.
We have to kind of take it up.
Dude, it's actually such a heavy task. You don't even realize like how much they do until you like try to recreate like the kind of environments that they've created, like the creative spaces, like the way how many people did they change, right? That went through their classrooms. Like I have a total different appreciation now for like teachers, because I'm like, this shit is rough, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jose Luis was telling me, I forgot how many thousands of people he had going through his class. And his class was inspiring. We went through it, and I was just like in awe of his class and having this Chicano, this Latino teach this. I was like, holy shit, this is there for a long time. Yeah, he was there for a really long time, actually. I don't know how long, but
you know what I mean? Like when there's a good teacher, it's because they're so into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when they're so into it, like it makes the kids like be into it. You're like,
I mean, even growing up, I'm sure we could name a few teachers that were like, oh, they were cool. They inspired learning,
And I was a shithead, so like those stuck out to me.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah. I remember my history teacher. He was fucking awesome, man. I didn't even like history, but just because I was in his class, I'm like, oh shit, I want to learn. I want to learn from this guy. Yeah, and he made it fun. And
that's crazy. When there was a teacher strike happening, I really like. I was doing that after school program. I was telling you guys about, and I got to be on campus during that whole strike, right? The teacher strike.
Yeah.
So I got to kind of see it from the, we see it because we're surrounded by artists, right? And all our friends are posting it on Instagram, and we stand with teachers. But then when you actually walk on the campus and you see how important these teachers are.
Yeah, man.
There was no students on school, and I'm like, oh, these kids are fucking around right now. They're doing whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like, why aren't we paying these people? Like, They take care of the nation's kids longer than their parents do most of the time.
Our future leaders.
Crazy.
And we don't pay to educate them.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
But being there was eerie. It was a weird feeling. I'm like, damn, it was like a week of no school.
Yeah.
So it's a selfless job. But so you kind of when did you discover your art for or your at least like you? Was there a point where you changed like your storytelling to like, okay, maybe I want to direct or maybe I want to write or?
I think it's happening. It's happening now. I liked entertaining ever since I was a kid. I used to like at 7 years old dress up in my grandparents' clothes. You know what I mean? And do all this stuff, and then
look what I can do. And like,
exactly.
Hey.
Oh, they laugh at you, and then
and you're like, give me attention.
You on. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this again. I'll even push it a little more. I'll do more.
You start defining your performances.
Young
artist, bro.
Exactly, man. So then that kind of stopped in elementary for a while, and then I picked it up in high school. I don't think we had any means. There was nothing that was offered that would be theater. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so there was just. I mean, I'm a product of public education, so there's not a lot of.
Where did you grow up?
My parents were field workers, so they picked the fruits in the U.S. for the season. So I would grow up 6 months here out of the year, and then go back to Mexico. They'd take me back, and I would grow up 6 months in Mexico. So I went to school in both countries till I was like 13. Yeah. So
Get
here,
the fuck out. That's so gnarly,
yeah, man.
Dude.
So here,
but that's beautiful that you get to experience two different cultures in two different worlds simultaneously.
I mean, honestly, I hated it, man.
Of course,
I was like,
but now it probably gives you it gives you so much insight, you know.
Yeah, because my grandma and my mom would go to school and say, "Well, he's gonna miss half the year. We need to get to work," and then I would get it. Then I'd go to Mexico, and then
it would be here
like,
where?
So here. Oddly enough, it's a really complicated thing, but my mom would come and drop me off at my grandparents in San Diego County, which was next to an Indian reservation called Pala. And that's where I grew up. And then my mom would follow the season, and she'd go to California, Washington, Arizona, everywhere to pick fruit. And why she started dropping me off is because my older brothers, she used to take him along and kind of have him and find babysitters or pull him out of school and then go to the next one. But then my older brother, she used to say the story that she would take him to get babysit by some random people. And then when he was old enough to talk, she would notice that he would come home and he was like ravenous and he would eat everything in sight. So then when he was old enough to talk, my mom asked, why are you always so hungry when you come here? And he said, well, when you drop us off, the lady gives us some candy and we all go to sleep. So she was drugging the kids. So my mom had this crazy breakdown. Like she started crying. Bro. She's all like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm trying to give them a better life and I'm dropped. So she
Who's this crazy bitch drugging kids?
I told my mom, I'm like, why didn't you report her? She's like,
scared.
I didn't even know what to do. I broke down. I cried. So then, isn't that crazy?
Fucking whack and crazy at the same time.
Yeah, man. So then she swore to herself that she would never leave her kids with someone she didn't trust.
Oh my God!
And
this
here
bitch
I
was drugging
come.
Kids.
Yeah, crazy. All of them. And she was taking care of a lot.
She's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Eat this candy, you stupid fucks.
Eat this candy, and
then
I'll
10 of them
see
are passed
you in
out.
10 hours.
And then wake up hungry as shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. It was horrible.
That's so crazy.
So then
there's some crazy people in this.
Crazy.
And I'm sure in her mind, she's just like, they're just going to sleep.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she kind of knew she was doing fucking.
Maybe I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I think just people just don't have the perception to understand that they're out of their fucking mind.
maybe.
You know what I mean? She's just like, it's just candy. I'm not gonna go to sleep. It's not a big deal to her.
Well, I have a feeling she knew it wasn't candy. It was in a prescription bottle.
No, I mean like for her, she's like they're just passing out.
Yeah, they're just sleeping. They're resting.
Exactly, different time.
They're
when
gonna
like,
wake
just
up
dip the pacifier in NyQuil and give it to the baby, right?
That's so funny.
You know what I'm saying? People be like, give them a teaspoon of whiskey. They'll pass. I'm like, that's terrible. Why are you giving?
That's so funny. Yeah.
It's like old wives' tales. Just some old lady. She's like, just give them some.
That's so funny. Yeah,
anyway,
like that.
so that's all happening, and why weren't you there though?
So I wasn't born yet. So then when I came along, she said, she had this whole meltdown and she said, you're staying with your grandparents in San Diego County while I work. And she would go every weekend to visit us, man. It was crazy.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was
Talk
awesome.
about like, You know what's weird? I feel like people always talk about this new generation, every generation, right? This new generation doesn't appreciate, they don't work hard. And I think I've been thinking about it a lot because I'm like, I've been thinking about times in my life where I've done something where I'm like, yo, I don't even know how I worked at that place for so long, or how I did this, or how I woke up at this time. And like, I was listening to a podcast where they're talking about the nervous system is so malleable. It's so like your body adapts, and I feel like every generation before, at least for us, right, was so much more difficult than what they had to do. So it required so much more effort out of them, and it requires a different type of effort out of us, because I don't think a lot of people processed a lot of what was going on within them while they were going through these journeys. You know what I mean? Like, that's the price you pay.
Yeah.
When you have to hustle that hard, you don't get to, like, that breakdown, I'm sure fucked your mom up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, she doesn't have the luxury to process that.
Yeah, you keep going.
Yeah, bro.
You need to eat.
You got to do
need
something.
Like food on the table.
And every generation just has that workload thrown on them. You know what I mean? Because they grow up with that.
Yeah.
And that affects how it's like the correlation of everything. So, I feel like every generation kind of has a job of like processing that, and it's a lighter load as far as maybe physical exertion.
Yeah.
But as far as like mental or emotional or spiritual, it's probably way fucking harder every generation.
Yeah, man. And I think in general you're right. I think we're all born with issues that we have to deal with, you know what I mean? Like even just coming out of mom, you know what I mean? That's pretty traumatic, and it stays with you. That's got to do something to you,
DMT,
know?
baby.
Yeah. So just like, you know, we're thrown into this world, and it's just like, and then we acquire shit and experiences, and we just got to deal. And sometimes, you know, like my parents, like you said, they didn't have the luxury of sitting down and processing emotions and going to counseling. Is also difficult. You know what I mean? And they're just like, shit, this happened. Let me fucking think quick. Now they're gonna stay there as we continue to work.
But then survive. You also, for me, I get to understand it on different. I was like, no wonder that one uncle used to get hammered all the time.
Yeah,
he was
true,
depressed.
Man. Yeah, it's so true.
You know what I mean? You're
the one uncle you never remember sober.
Yeah.
It's like,
no wonder that couple used to fight all the time.
Yeah,
or this and this and that. You know, there was a lot of like family issues, and you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's hilarious.
That makes sense. So, how did that going out of the school system out here? How was that? How do you even discover any artistic means or not artistic? What's the word I'm looking for? Expression. How did you even come across that
here in the U.S.?
I mean, just period.
I grew up with my grandparents in San Diego County, and our closest neighbors were literally probably like 2 miles. So it was my grandparents, myself, and a dog. My dog. So I feel like creativity had to happen. I had, you know what I mean? I had to invent stuff to keep myself entertained. I had to just kind of.
And your brothers were with your mom, right?
They were with my the older ones were with my mom, and then my brother closest to me, he was with me for a bit, but then he also left. So I just kind of had to figure it out, and even I don't know, it's kind of sad because even at school, obviously when I was in first grade, my English was broken because I was trying to kind of learn English. My grandparents knew no English.
Oh, man.
So they couldn't really help me with it. So, and it's interesting because I experienced racism in this Indian reservation, not because of the color of my skin, but because of my language and because I didn't speak what they spoke. And also I couldn't speak English, and it was just being different. So it was a bit traumatic. So I liked school for a bit, but I enjoyed time just being alone and being with my imagination. And that's where I started kind of entertaining my grandparents. And so I spent a lot of time alone when I was here, but then I'd go to Mexico and it was a completely different thing. It's a small town. So I had a lot of friends and there was so much to do.
So
and
you loved it over there then?
I loved it over there until I started making friends like in the 2nd grade. You know, then I liked it here as well. I just didn't like the workload.
So what changed when you were 13?
So when I was 13, I told my mom that I wanted to go. I wanted to go with her. And she said, okay, you know. And I mean, it destroyed my grandparents the day that I left. But I remember at 13, brother, I was like in a small Indian reservation and then in a small village in Mexico. So at 13, I get to Oxnard.
That's pretty cool.
And I remember at 10 p.m., I was like, there's a fucking car out there. What are people doing up right now? And I got
Yeah.
up to the living room. That was like, I didn't understand what that was. I got
shit.
up and I looked out the window and I'm like, there are people down there. What are they doing at this? It's like, it was like maybe 9:30 or 10.
Yeah.
And I
Why?
just
'Cause in San
couldn't
Diego, it was just-
comprehend.
it was just-
like no city. Yeah, San Diego was like, it was Palma Valley. It was a very small,
So there was nothing there.
not really. Like the closest store where
So it was
you
just
could
quiet
go,
as fuck at night.
Yeah, I lived in the middle of an orange grove.
Oh damn.
And there was
Okay.
no neighbors, and then there was a huge river. Our closest neighbors were like at least 2 miles away.
Damn.
Yeah. So for me, I was not a city
Dude,
boy
you
at
were
all.
just alone a lot. So you're just
Alone
looking at
a
all this
lot.
chaos going on at night. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I was like, what the fuck are people doing up?
Yeah.
They should go to sleep.
It's past your
It's-
bedtimes.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
Didn't you get the memo, Mom?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're moving around, and it's kind of a culture shock for sure.
It is, and and it was interesting because I started, I don't know, just seeing at an early age. I'd go to the store and I'd see this kid, throwing a tantrum at Kmart back then. You know what I mean? Because he wanted a toy and da da da. And then we would take the bus all the way to Mexico, and I'd be on the bus, and this kid that was maybe my age, like 7 years old, I'd say, or 8. He's like barefoot and selling bubble gum. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Your perspective was so much different.
crazy. This is crazy. If only the kids over there knew that
Wow.
they shouldn't throw a tantrum because these kids don't even have food,
And this is you at 13 processing this.
Oh, younger.
Oh,
yeah,
you see
yeah,
what I'm
like
saying? Even
7,
younger.
8.
7.
Yeah. And then,
Which is a beautiful, like, little, you get the both sides of the coin, and you get to experience them
man.
both.
Yeah, it was really good. Now I appreciate
Yeah.
it, but it was just rough going back and
Yeah.
forth and back and forth.
And at what age did you like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, or when you were like, I'm sure before even college, it wasn't just like I'm just gonna major in theater.
I always liked it, and then I think it was in high school that I joined the drama club when I was a freshman, because I was like,
Bold move back
I was
then.
like, yeah, oh,
It's a
dude,
bold move.
Well, I was already an outcast. I was fucking, I was like big. I was like
Yeah.
hefty.
Oh, no
I was like
shit.
205 pounds
Oh,
my freshman year,
man.
so I was already like,
You got fat teenager syndrome?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
I
was talking about that today, dude. Fat teenagers. I was like, everybody, like, whatever you were at 13, most people are kind of that person.
That's
Like,
funny.
Think about
It's
it. Like,
true.
the
It's true.
The chip on your shoulder you had at that time. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, fuck, I dress the same. I'm such a shithead. I'm 13.
I talk to Jorge.
yeah, Jorge Diaz.
Yeah,
He's
and
been here.
We've had the conversation about
I love that
fat
dude.
syndrome. We're
Yeah.
like, 'cause
You
we're
carry
like,
that.
once you're there, you understand this, so you kind of root for the underdog because
Yeah.
you're like, it was shitty, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
you're
you
like-
kind of tend to root for the underdog
Yeah.
all the time. It's like, no, that's an injustice. Don't do that.
But
I
in a
know
lot-
what it feels
But
like.
in a lot of ways, like, a lot of people need that injustice to, like, motivate them to, like,
Right.
make some kind of change. Because it's also not healthy. Let's be
Yeah.
honest here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel weird about the whole thing right now. Like, right now, I feel like everybody's being a little too easy on people, which I don't think is good either. Like, I'm an empathetic person. I try to, like, understand perspectives, but I don't think we should just let people, just be like, no, everyone gets
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah.
There's no losers. There's like,
everyone's a winner.
let's be fucking realistic here,
Yeah.
It's a goddamn jungle out there.
Yeah.
Let's prepare these kids for some adversity, or else they're gonna go and fall feast first.
It's true. It's good. Did I say I root for injustice? I meant I root for justice.
Yeah.
I just realized. But you're right. I think it's good to kind of, make people feel good, but also kind of not shield them from the realities of life,
This is how do you feel about putting, like, for example, like there was a cover in a magazine where this lady was like morbidly obese, and they put her like in a bathing suit and put her on front, and they were just kind of like, this is beautiful or whatever.
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like
I'll tell you what I feel.
Tell me
I'll
what you
tell you.
feel.
So, because I'm like, I understand what you guys are doing. I understand that people that are in that need some kind of positive affirmation so they can feel better about themselves. But at the same time, the lady's addicted to food. She's slowly killing herself, and she's living an extremely unhealthy lifestyle. So what are we promoting? Are we promoting self-love? Because true self-love would be caring for yourself. You know what I mean? I think we're putting the carriage before the horse when we do that. Why do they put the guy with abs in it? Because that's damn near fucking impossible to get abs, bro. You
Right.
know what I mean? And if you got them, you're like, get on the fucking front of that magazine, dude.
And that could be unhealthy on the other spectrum.
And it could be unhealthy on the other spectrum, but you know.
in terms of like drug use and how you get there, an obsession of beauty. I
And
think
a lot of times it is.
yeah, and I think just in general, you know, I feel that, you know, our perception of beauty is whatever is the collective agreement that we agree with now. You know what I mean? Like in the 50s, beauty was just, you know, women that had normal bodies, not super worked out. They were healthy, but they were, you know, they were bigger, and that was beautiful, and that was a collective agreement of what that was. Now it's more anorexic, which I don't think it's healthy either. You know what I mean?
Or
I'm not like,
let's take it the other side of the coin, like the Instagram girls. You know what I mean? Like blowout tits, blowout ass.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're just like, holy shit.
yeah. It's
You know what I mean?
because
Because then like you know, I always talk about how like I'm like we're in the most like feministic like point ever in time, but at the same time it's the most ratchet it's ever been. Because there's never been that many asses twerking on the internet worldwide.
Shit,
you know what I mean?
funny.
It's
Yeah.
both happening at the same time, and
Yeah.
I'm a fan of both movements. So
I support him.
I support everybody, baby. I like it. You
Yeah,
know?
man.
That's kind of the standard of beauty now. Flat
Yeah,
out,
it
flat
is,
out. The
it
Kim
is.
Kardashian body. Blam,
Yeah.
blam. A lot of people getting work done and shit.
And it's just because people are agreeing that that's what it is.
I'm
you know
vain
what
as
I
fuck
mean?
though. I'm gonna admit I'm vain as fuck. What do I do about that?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of fucked. I get myself in a lot of pickles because
And you're
of
an
it.
actor, so at any point you have to be ready to take off your shirt and run down
Yeah, dude.
away from an explosion or
Yeah.
some shit. And if you're not in shape, you know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna sell movies,
Yeah.
which is crazy because that's what people buy.
I
They
even
buy-
mean in like who I find attractive. I'm not vain. Shouldn't say vain. Shallow is what I should say. Shallow as fuck. I want everything. Want the
whole
motherfucking
package.
personality, and I want you to have everything.
That's hilarious.
It never works out that way. I got myself in a lot of trouble.
I mean, yeah,
That's usually how it works out.
yeah.
So getting back to we get off on tangents. So when you started acting in like high school, or whatever, you end up going to college, you end up doing this, and you've been doing it now for a long time now.
Mhm.
Professionally, how long do you think have you been like in quote unquote in the business?
Fuck, I was doing this since I started auditioning and going to classes and commercial classes
Yeah.
when I was like 15 years old.
Damn.
My parents would drive me from Oxnard to LA
The American
to kind
dream.
of like come to once a week to take a commercial class, and it was such a trip because I didn't have anybody to show me the ropes. I didn't know anybody in the industry,
Same.
so I just kind of fucking stumbled everywhere, fell down, got back
yeah,
up.
yeah.
You know, did this, didn't work out. I went from agent to agent. I remember the first agent that I
That shit's
got.
still happening, bro.
The first agent that I got from these classes, her name was she was an old, I don't know, she must have been like 80. And she
Damn.
would smoke like crazy, and she'd be like, and I'd go to her apartment. I'd be like, "What the fuck is this? This is like a 1950s
You're like
Hollywood
16-year-old.
movie."
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I
a
was
lot
like
of it, a lot of the
15.
cliche shit is so fucking real.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
man.
I
Even
was
like, you ever
like-
watch Entourage, that show?
Yes,
A lot of that is exaggerated.
Oh,
a lot of it's
totally.
very real.
a lot of it is very real.
And I'm
yeah.
like, man, I got this shit right.
Not even so exaggerated.
It's not that exaggerated. Like, a lot of it's, like,
it's
I'm like,
like
damn, that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
So damn, that's fucking crazy, dude. Because Jorge was saying too, like a lot of people are just started off as children. I got into like, dude, I was like 20 when I started like professionally doing it. Because music was my first love, and that's what I thought I was gonna do. I was gonna be a fucking rock star. You know?
What made you do the switch?
I was in a band. We were doing well. The band split up. There's just so much that's out of your control, and I was just like kind of heartbroken. I was at a weird. I just got dumped. I was I was at this job, and I was making a bunch of money, and I just was lost, bro. And I needed a creative like outlet. And I remember I had told an ex-girlfriend of mine. I was like, we had taken a cinema class in college, and I was like, I think I could be an actor. And she's like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, I was so offended. I was like, hey, bitch, I'm serious. Like, I could do this. She's like, get the fuck out of here. Whatever, dude. Stop. And I was like, legit. She's like, I don't know why you're getting so offended. Stop it. Like, this is so stupid. And I remember after that, we had broken up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go take a fucking class, and I just Googled it. I'm like,
Who's your first class?
oh, it was some bullshit, bro. It was like some fucking scam shit.
Yeah, they're always scams, man.
Yeah, it was like, of course, that's how they get everybody in the
that's
beginning.
yeah.
In the beginning, we all get
They're
hit with that
beginners.
net.
Yeah, you got to pay your dues. Literally.
Yeah, it
pay
was like
your
some
dues.
bullshit, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And they're just like, this kid's great, you know. And I kind of was, because everybody in there was so terrible. That's when I realized, like, oh, you guys are just taking anybody, because everybody sucks in here. Nobody's pushing me. But you know, that's how you kind of find the ropes. They actually got me my first agent. That's cool. So I was like, all right, cool. And then just, you know,
That's so awesome.
10 years later, we were like, hey, here, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so-
there's
so
no right or wrong way. You just kind of step into
You
it.
kind of decided you were, from a young age, then, like, this is what I'm going to do.
I did.
It's beautiful. Oh,
Yeah, I used to. I always knew that I wanted to do that.
Mm.
I just didn't know how I was gonna
Get
do
there.
it. Yeah, get there.
You don't really need to know.
And then when I went to college, I took time off. I said,
Mm.
okay, I'm in college, and my agent at the time, they were pissed. They're like, no, we're just getting you work and this and that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Hey, bitch,
I
you need to hold it
can't."
together.
Yeah,
I'm going to end up like Macaulay Culkin.
yeah. I'm like,
I'm sure it's
I
fine.
can't do it. And I told them, I'm like, you know, I think like just even like when I was like, you know, college age, I was like, anybody could take a role away, and I'm like, but nobody could take my education away. Like I need to
I see
fucking
what you're
go to
saying.
school, and I took some time off, and
I see what
they were
you're
like, you could do both. I'm like, no, I can't. I always knew I was gonna do this for life. So
Yeah.
even now,
You were like, I'm in no rush.
yeah, I know that I'm doing this for life. This
Yeah.
is unless I have an awakening one day, I'm like, oh, now I want to.
Save children in
I don't
Africa.
know, raise chicken
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know.
Like that's what
But
they
for
do. He
now,
raises
yeah,
chickens. Huh?
Yeah.
What
He
chicken?
raises
Yeah,
chickens.
5,000
He sells
chicken. He
He
has a
sells
gang of chicken.
organic eggs.
It was great. Nice chicken breast.
He's making a documentary about it.
Oh, it's funny. So you go through this and you get to college, you get all this stuff, and then you're acting a bunch of years already. You're deep in the game. What changed for you where you're like, all right, I want to start writing or directing? You know, was it the lack of opportunities or like? 'Cause it gets to that at some point.
It was once I graduated, you know, and it's changing a lot now, 2019, but you know,
2019 has actually been a slow year, but I know
but
what
it's,
you mean.
it's
The content
changing
that's
now,
coming
yeah.
out.
But like in 2001, 2002, I mean, literally the
Shit.
shit that I was going out for was just crazy. And then it sounds like, you know, you wouldn't get this note, but
So
maybe
cliche.
not now for casting directors that are, you know, really open-minded and they understand. But before, you know, I'd go in and it was a Latino, so then
Yeah.
I'd do the scene and I'd go get called back to producer sessions,
Yeah.
and I'd go in and they'd be like, this is great, do it again, but do it with an accent because he's Latino. I was like, are you
I hate when
kidding
it still
me?
happens
Like,
sometimes.
what
It
the
still happens
hell?
sometimes where I'm like, I hate doing a fucking accent.
Yeah.
Hello, my friend. I fucking hate that
Yeah.
goddamn accent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. Why can't I just be a dude without an accent, man?
Yeah, and they're like, I'm like, and then I would ask him, you know,
At the
there's
time,
different types of accents. Is it somebody who just got here? Is it
Yeah.
somebody that has been
exactly.
here?
Yeah.
Do you want the Latino twang
Yeah.
to it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
What? And they were just like, just an accent.
Yeah.
I was like, you have no fucking idea what you want.
Fuck you guys. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that took me a long time to realize that nobody knows what the fuck they want.
Nobody.
You got to show them what the fuck
Nobody.
they want.
Yeah.
This is what you want, bitch.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's what we want.
Yeah. They're
He's
like, oh,
confident.
this is it. Yeah.
He seems to know what he's doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that was kind of the driving force, and I started a production company with Luis and Alberto back like early in 2005. I think
Shout out
it
to
was.
them, Luis and Alberto.
Yeah,
Alberto
man.
Barbosa.
Yeah. We started Cinetico Productions.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we did a lot of shorts together, and
I saw you
and that
guys' feature a
became-
few years back. the
Yeah,
Cry Now.
Cry Now.
When was it? Where was that? The AT&T Center?
That was at the. That's where the festival was. Yeah, at the AT&T
That was
Center.
really cool.
Yeah.
That was a lot of goddamn people there.
That was it kind of got packed.
Yeah. Kind of? Yeah.
Yeah.
People
It
standing up.
kind of
Yeah.
sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, I think it was because of the roles that I was going out for, and also, you know, and then now I started another production company with Luis where we focus on Latinx and LGBTQ content. So now with that, I started directing also. So writing, directing, and producing, and I feel that, I don't know, for me, I'm now at this time, because, you know, I get a lot of satisfaction doing roles and auditioning and stuff. But now I get more satisfaction creating content and knowing that I have it.
Because you're in control.
Because I'm in control and I don't have to beg anybody to get this project done. Sure, they may pass, but I have the project.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah.
And I feel that with auditions, I started having this awakening. And this is just me personally. I was like, you know, all the time, all the auditions I've had since I was 15. Sure, I booked here and there, but what do I have for preparing for these auditions? What do I tangibly have? The experience, yes, but nothing. I don't have anything that says, you know, this is what I have.
got close to that one.
Yeah.
Or I got close to this one.
Yeah, it was a really good audition. That's
Yeah.
what I have. So writing,
Sometimes
I feel
it'll lead to
like
like that casting director brought me again, and then
that's
I booked
true.
something,
That's true.
you know?
But writing, I feel like I have it. I have the script. I have this.
You can
This
hold
is
it.
mine. I could shop it around, and I have the film that I want to direct. This is mine, and I have it. So I feel that investing time in that is giving me at this point much more satisfaction. And who knows? Maybe in like 5 years it'll change again, and I'll kind of be like, well, this isn't giving me satisfaction.
Well, we were
anymore.
talking a little bit about the process and like your creative process, right? And I feel like a lot of it. We started at the same place. You recommended me to go to the Imagine Life under the
Diana.
Shout out to Diana Castle. Who's she's just a goddamn warrior.
She's amazing.
Amazing teacher, and she kind of gives actors a process, but you kind of have a different a lot of, like, you know, it's very difficult also for, like, it's not difficult, it just requires a lot for you to have a process as an actor. You know how it was like when you're in Diana.
Yeah.
It's fucking intense.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
just got off a year of that. It's fucking intense.
It's
you know,
really hard.
and everybody in there is like, you're in there with the motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And it's also a cool feeling because you feel like, you know, it's like, in a weird way, you feel like it's just fucking Aristotle, and this is like his disciples and shit that didn't go onto the world.
That's how I felt sometimes.
It's
I'm
weird,
like,
dude,
wow,
because she dropped some gems, dude, in there.
she's amazing.
Fucking crazy.
Taken a lot of acting classes, and it was
Nothing
hers
like
that resonated.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the shit where I belong in.
Same. I was
This
like,
is the
where
shit
the
that
fuck
it,
has this
like-
been my whole life?
Yeah, I
You
could have
know?
saved a lot of money.
For real, a lot of scammy shit.
Yeah.
But the reason why I felt that is because, like, art influences culture, you know, and this culture, we're in the mecca that influences the entire motherfucking planet. And it comes out of Hollywood, eventually gets all over the world. That's what everybody's trying to watch.
Absolutely.
So if she's in there and you're in there with everybody, everybody's in there on the show or on something huge that have giant platforms. So you're like, oh shit, like, the people in this room are literally changing the way people view the world through their work. And this is the lady who's like teaching us how to, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why I felt like a lot of ways I was like, oh shit. First I was in class and I was just like, but yeah, you process is different now for writing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say that she influenced, you know, of course, acting,
Yeah.
because that's what we're there for.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you expand your imagination and do the work.
But the mental work is
But
so much-
also, yeah, the mentality work, and I do a lot of that stuff in my writing and in my directing. I think she influenced my directing a lot,
Yeah.
in terms of coming to everything with just a human story and working with actors and
deeper
also,
connection.
deeper connection, and even the writing process. One of the things for the writing process that really came out of there was just discipline, man. Like we tend to only do stuff when we have stuff in mind.
deadline
You know what I mean?
or-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like
an audition. Now we got to do it.
And now I have to sit down. Yeah.
And that's what was Diana's biggest thing. She's like, you guys are waiting for the motherfucking audition.
Yeah.
And then it gets there and you're all rusty.
And she
shit.
makes sense because, you know, if you're a gymnast, you practice every day.
Every
If
motherfucking
you're
day,
a swimmer, you practice every
Yeah,
day. And
yeah.
then you're an actor, what do? You
Yeah.
can't just wait around for
Stare
an
at the
audition.
wall.
You have
Yeah.
to kind of
Some people are lucky, like, you know, I think all of us are pretty lucky. We all see each other to go out often, but some people don't get to. In the beginning, I didn't get to go out often, and if I did, it was like for bullshit.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard to you just got to be constantly working that muscle. Otherwise, you're gonna get rusty.
Absolutely. And I, you know, when I stopped her class, I still kept the creation process in the morning.
Yeah.
So I would do it
It
in the
becomes
morning.
a part of your routine. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started writing every single morning, and I still do that. Sometimes, you know, it's funny because I'm going
Okay,
through
take
a
me to
little...
so okay. What time is your alarm?
So I set my alarm at 6 a.m.
Okay.
And then
6
I,
a.m.
6 a.m.
First thing in, what you do?
I get up, brush my teeth, dress up, and then I sit down and meditate for about anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes.
Pause. Did you get that, motherfuckers? Go meditate. Okay, continue.
Yeah, I meditate for 10 to 30
powerful.
minutes. Yeah, really good, man. And sometimes,
That's
there's
also
the
like a
excuse
diligent
that
process too.
you don't have time to meditate. It's
Yeah.
like meditation
No.
will add
It buys
minutes
you time.
because you're so grounded
More
and the
efficient.
day goes more efficiently.
Yeah. You get through shit
Yeah.
moving.
So meditate, and then I do about another 20 minutes of like Diana taught us, mentality work,
Yeah.
which is just get a good book or something that is going to inspire you to kind of jump in, and it's kind of like the springboard into what you're going to do. Yeah, the trampoline. So then I do that, and then I start and I write until probably about 10:30 a.m. That's the ideal writing day every day.
10:30 a.m.
Till 10:30 a.m. and then I'm done, and then the day starts, and by then the phone starts buzzing, emails start coming in, and
I have a similar process for my working out because like I have to work out early, otherwise you know how it goes. Like everything and then now I try to make it as much on to the school as I can. So like I try to put everything before 3. I'm like I want to be done with everything by 3, so I can be in the valley teaching at 3, and then and then be done with my day. Like at 5 or whatever.
I love working out in the morning. It's just that I found that if I wait to write later on, my mind is already just done. My mind is primed.
Why don't you go work out at 10:30?
I can, yeah. I think, but I love working out early in the morning. But
Yeah,
I feel like I could even work out at 6 p.m. and I'll get it done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Maybe it's like 5% less than I would give in the morning,
Yeah.
but I could still do it. But if I start writing at 6 p.m.,
Yeah.
dude, my mind is so full of shit that I'm like, just like I've gone through
Scattered.
the whole day and
Yeah.
I'm not focused at all. It's not efficient. So yeah, so I do that till 10:30, and
So what is that? How long you been doing that process for, writing?
it's funny because
little
I
routine that you have.
I started Diana, and then I was with her for over a year. And then I think it was in 2017 that I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did it 2017, 18. I've been doing it for 2.5 years.
And in that time,
And and I've thought myself as a creator, and I in the last years I co-wrote a film with Luis Aldana. So we have that, and we've written something else, but it was just very sparse. There was no kind of like
movie
this
here,
is our
a movie there.
yeah. So we have like 2 films that we wrote in the 2.5 years. I wrote 2 films, 2 TV shorts, and 2 shorts, and 2 of them are already done. And so I was like, shit, this shit really does work.
Yeah.
Getting up and just having your
Baby
window.
steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
And even if I sit there and I don't do shit, and if I'm like,
Still
it's
counts.
not coming, even 10:30 comes, all right, gotta go. I showed up.
Yeah.
I showed up.
Yeah.
If it didn't
Some
happen,
days
it
you
didn't
did get
happen.
gold,
It's
yeah.
not my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
You
showed up.
Yeah.
So maybe whatever it
And then
was, but I
sometimes
stayed
though,
there.
that'll carry you throughout the day. Shout out to Max right here, jumping in. We got puppies in the studio, tiny puppies. Look at this guy. I'm gonna put him on camera. He's so small.
Oh, now someone's
Oh, no,
jealous.
now it's
Now
jealous.
you got to get the other one on camera
Yeah,
too.
she's there every episode. What's up, girl? All right. What the fuck was I saying? Goddamn puppies extracted me. That process, but see how much you get done in such a short period of time. So you guys wrote 2 movies in what, 10 years?
Probably, yeah.
And in 2 years, you write 6 other projects.
Yeah, and actually produce 2 of them.
Yeah, and already done. It did them.
They're
Yeah.
already done. Yeah. So yeah, it works.
You're,
but,
actually, you were just out of town. You're leaving next week again, no? You're going to Canada, no?
I'm going to Toronto. Yeah, our film Broken Sunflower Hearts
Yeah.
is gonna.
Matias stars in
show.
that.
Matias Ponce is in it.
Yeah.
Luis Aldana's in it.
Yeah.
And then the next one, Sal Lopez and Luis Aldana.
He's phenomenal.
And
I fucking love
Matias
Sal.
also.
Sal's one of my favorite people to watch.
Oh, he's amazing, man.
He's been doing it a long goddamn time.
And his process is just so on point, man. It's just like, it's so good to work with people that love story, that could kind of just, they get immersed in this world.
He's been doing it forever.
Yeah, man.
That's
and
tight.
he's great. He's really, really good.
Just for the love of it. I was never like huge into theater. I've never really been huge into theater, but I love the whole I love plays. Did you go watch The Mother of Henry?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was a beautiful show.
It was amazing. It was really good. The whole cast was really good in that show, man.
But also, like, now I'm looking at shit different, and I was really appreciating Evelina's writing, You know what I mean? Just kind of like, and throughout that whole play, I'm like, oh shit.
She's a great writer, man.
Yeah.
She's a great writer. Yeah. All the stuff that she does with the Latino Theater Company is awesome.
She's published a lot of shit, right? A lot of plays.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, she's working on getting one into a TV series.
Yeah,
I
I heard something like that.
Faith.
Yeah. One of
Hope,
them.
One of those. Yeah.
But yeah, so man, that kind of goes to show you like that diligence really does like make a big ass difference. I don't know what changes for you. Like, you know how we all have that procrastination monkey that crawls on your back, and it's like, nah, just do it later, bro.
It's on me right now.
Yeah,
Like the last couple of days, I'm like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, dude. And it's weird. The weather has a lot to do with it. I feel the same. I felt that.
Yeah.
The weather has a lot to do with it. But when it starts raining, everybody's in a fucking funk in LA.
Yeah.
I've been funky since it's been raining for like the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I just want to be alone and I don't want to do shit.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, so I mean, I wish, I'm saying what I do on an ideal day, but it's not always like that. And
Sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
and you got to be realistic about it too.
Yeah.
But like, what helps you get over that procrastination? Hey, go to your bed.
Really
tap dancing over here.
Just showing up, man. Like, just showing up. And then even
But I
if,
mean,
if
even
I just,
even that, like, what is the thing in your mind? What do you tell yourself when, like, how do you tell yourself to show up? Rather, how do you ask of yourself to show up? Is there something? If there's something you think about where you're like, oh, I got to do this because of this.
I think once it becomes a ritual, like, you know how working out.
Yeah.
Once you don't show up, you feel off, and you know that you need to do it.
feel
And in
guilty.
my head, I've set goals, long-term goals. The
okay.
feature I'm
That's what
shooting
I'm
next
after.
year.
Yeah.
And then by the time the second short comes out, I want to take meetings with agencies.
Yeah.
So I need to have like
Yeah.
some work done. So I've set goals for myself. So if I don't show, I know it's kind of not getting me closer to the goals that I have.
I always like to like kind of harp on that because it's like people say dreams, right? You have dreams too. They're just goals of yours because you put a plan before it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to make another movie would be a dream. You'd be like, yeah, my
Right.
fucking dream come true.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you're like, I
yeah.
already have a plan, so it's just a goal, bro. I already got the script.
I remember, the LALIF, the Latino International Film Festival here in LA.
It's back, no?
It's back. It's
Yeah.
back. And I remember I went when I was, I don't know, I must have been like 19 or 20 to
Yeah.
one of the festivals. And then Eddie Olmos was there and he was
Yeah.
giving advice and he was like, yeah, do this, do that. And he's like, everybody, it's okay to dream. Just don't forget to wake up. So, you could be
Yeah.
dreaming all you want. And it's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing to
Yeah.
get there? It's like, not a damn thing.
But that's
I'm
why
dreaming.
this business is like everybody wants to do it, but it's like it's hard fucking work, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to stay in this realm and like audition all the time, and it's also like a lot of heartbreak. You know what I mean?
And
like
it's solitary work. Like
Oh.
you're alone. You're an artist. It's you. It's your instrument.
people are like,
it's
why
you.
are people so troubled? I'm like, because the money doesn't change anything, right? Like
Yeah.
it's more of like if you're doing it, you didn't even get into it for the money, right? I didn't really get into it. It'd be fucking stupid to get into it for the money because you're
Yeah.
probably not gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, short term. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't end. That process is still like such a solitary process, and some people don't know how to kind of shut that and have a counterbalance or whatever it may be.
It's true. And I think just as human beings, we're kind of wired in that way to kind of like keep, it just never stops. Even like
Yeah.
for money, for example, if you're driving like, an old beat up truck and then you're like, oh, I have money. Now I'll buy this nice Honda. You buy
Yeah.
the nice Honda and you're like, oh, now I want an Acura. You buy
Yeah.
the Acura and
Yeah.
like, oh, now I have more money. Now I want the Lexus.
Yeah.
Now I want
It
the
never ends.
Rolls Royce. Now I want the Tesla
Yeah.
and this and that. And it just never ends.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes we forget to just kind of take a deep breath and be like, this is great. Wherever I'm at right now, it's great. And it's
I've been taking like breaks from social media like every now and then. My first one was like 30 days, right? Hard 30 days, which was fucking hard. I was like, damn, I feel like a crack addict.
that's amazing, man.
So I'm like 30 days, delete everything, all good. Facebook, I never got back on the tit of Facebook. I'm off of everything except for Instagram. It's my last one, right? And I recently, I was like, see you soon, Instagram. And I did it for like 3-4 days or whatever. And I remember I was 2 days in, and I was washing dishes, and I'm just chilling there, and I'm like, I felt so, nothing had happened, bro. It was in the morning. I just woken up, but I hadn't been on Instagram for like 3 days already. And I just felt so at peace. I was like, dude, like this is exactly
It's amazing.
And I was like, you know, exactly where I fucking need to be right now. Like everything felt perfect. And I was like, but me being the person I am, I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? Why do we feel this way? And I'm like, what's changed in the past few days? I'd be washing the dishes anyway. Like I'd be doing the same shit, living in the same place. So it's like, what's changed? And I'm like, that shit has so much anxiety attached to it.
It is, man. It's you know, people present themselves how they want to be, and it's not
It's a
a
highlight
reality. You don't really post a picture on Instagram and say, I'm really fucking depressed and I feel like my life is shit.
Some people do.
Well, some people do, but then
It's probably
that's
not
for
smart
attention.
either, though.
Yeah,
it's
that's
probably not smart.
But what I'm saying is that
Tyrese.
most people just put their kind of like best picture forward, even if they're having a miserable day, and you start reading this feed and you're like, fuck, I'm the only one feeling like this.
Yeah.
Everyone else is so successful. Everyone, and then you start comparing yourself.
Yeah.
And,
And
then you
meanwhile,
start
they're doing the
comparing
same
yourself.
shit.
Yeah. They're on the same journey, but that's not what you're
They just have a
you're
different bracket.
reading.
They're looking at something above them, and they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
this thing's great. You know?
Yeah, man. It's
The long-term psychological
very
effects we haven't
toxic.
studied, man, for social media on the human brain. And I think we're lucky just to be like the last generation that was like born before the internet, the millennials, right? They were before the internet and after the internet and saw the boom. And this new generation doesn't have that luxury. They've been on the internet their whole lives.
It's sad, man. It's sad. You see kids that are just nonstop. You know, it's just
scary.
Yeah, I don't know where that's going. It really disconnects you from yourself because you know, somebody asked me recently. They're like, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" And I'm like, honestly, like I'll have like a sheep milk yogurt and I sit by myself alone and eat it.
Sounds wonderful.
Nothing.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Kids wouldn't do
Dude,
that. Like there is no time to be alone. If
I
you're
drink so much coffee. I just sit there. I'll sit in front of my favorite coffee shop and drink a cup of coffee.
that's amazing.
And
See,
I fucking love, or read a book.
yes,
randomly.
that shit is not happening anymore.
When we're walking by, like, yeah, bitch, I read.
And because everywhere, even people crossing the street,
Yeah.
are like on
their
their phone.
phones.
I'm like, look up,
Hey,
look
bitch,
at the
you're gonna
sun.
die.
Yeah, at least watch out for danger. But
I was kind of lucky
dude,
that I
you're
got
like
traumatized and
missing
hit.
life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Octavio is one. You know Octavio Pisano?
I know the name. I think I
He-
may.
he's a-
Yeah.
He's another act, and he just kind of like he's always Instagramming videos like slow, long videos of like just the sunset, like where he's standing and then you know, and I'm like, this is a dude who understands both worlds, where everybody's stuck, where he's like giving you a real thing, trying to connect you to the real thing that's already there, and everybody goes crazy over a fucking sunset on Instagram, right? And there's one above us all goddamn day, every day.
Right,
And everybody's
right.
like, oh, look at this sunset. It's
Oh,
so
look at it!
beautiful."
Look at it!
Hey, bitch, it's
Experience
over
it.
there. It's
Just
beautiful.
look up.
Yeah.
That's
We're about 47 minutes in. I want to go into some hot seat questions, sir. We're gonna go into some hot seat questions.
This is like the actor studio, the Lipton kind of method.
Kind of.
That's awesome.
What does he have? He has some kind of
He
shit,
used
right?
to have no. That show got canceled a while.
No.
back.
I know. I loved it, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, I used to love him. He was kind of a nerd, and he was great when he had Dave Chappelle smoking.
Oh yeah, he had a
cigarettes and
big
shit on.
fucking ego too, man.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm the shit. You know what I mean? And I'll
Pace
ask you
University?
these questions,
Yeah.
softly.
What's crazy is like, you know, Bradley Cooper would be in that audience or whatever,
Yeah.
like asking questions and shit. I used to love that show.
Yeah, it should come back, man. You should bring it back. A
Bro,
different version.
Latino version.
Yeah.
What's up, putos? Welcome to this edition of Inside the Actor Studio. All right. What are 3 vices you could never give up?
Oh shit. That's hard. 3 vices I could never give up. I would say. See, there's what I want to answer that makes it cool, and then I'm trying to find like the really core of it. Like, would I?
What is it?
I would say
You're in a hot seat, bro. You're burning in hell.
I would say alcohol. I would say desserts, and I would say my computer to write.
Boom. All right. 3 things you couldn't write. You couldn't live without.
3 things that I couldn't
That was
live
it.
without.
That was it.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I got yours. Okay. If you had to break one big ass bone in your body, right, and you'd be out for 3 months, you're fucked for 3 months, right? But you get to choose which bone it is. Which one did you break?
I'd break my leg.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
What other big bones are they?
Yeah. I mean, you got your arms and shit. I don't know.
But yeah, I'd keep my arms. My leg would be fine. I think if I broke my arm, I'd be in trouble.
Which
'cause
leg?
I'd do the left one.
Where did you break it?
Maybe by my foot.
Okay. All right. Maybe. Like I don't want to break anything, man.
Oh shit! This
Not
is
the
hard.
femur, bro, because that would be the
I
worst.
hope we don't
bone
have
to break.
loud traction doesn't come into
Yeah.
play here. I'm
You're like,
you wanted it?
maybe.
Rick, I was walking to my car, and broke my leg.
All right. If you had a chance to uninvent one thing that exists right now in today's society, it's common. You could uninvent this thing. What would it be?
Social media.
Ooh, bold move, sir. You're ending careers,
Yeah, I know. A lot.
bro.
Yeah.
All right. And last but not least, no internet or no cell phone.
No cell phone.
Smart. Boom. All right, I could live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just talking. I had to take an Uber today, dude. I've been doing a lot of Uber pools. This has been interesting. I took an Uber pool the other day, and this guy was fucking passed out next to me, and I Instagrammed him. But I was like, look at this motherfucker passed out next to me, and I have the cool new privacy screen, so you can't see what's on my phone from your angle. So like this the what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
So he couldn't see shit, and he was passed out, straight up snoring. Anyway, today I had another guy, and I took another Uber pool today, and I'm just talking to this fucking guy, and we were talking about fuck. He was just leading me into it. I lost it. We were talking about
No phones.
That's what it was. Yeah. No, we were talking about if like the grid went down, like what would we do? And I was like, you know how to do shit? And he's like, I know how to do some things. Like, but I'm like, I wonder like how many people would be fucked.
Oh, dude, a lot.
Most of us.
A
Well, I don't
lot,
think we're meant to
yeah.
be in city. We're in food deserts here, right? We're in a
Yeah.
city. Everything is shipped in.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, we'd all be fucked.
In LA, like
Even
any
if you
city, any
knew how
major
to do
city.
shit, but yeah.
Yeah. You can't get the fuck out of the city.
You'd
right?
be cool until the grocery stores ran out. Then we're
Yeah.
all fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd go back to my town in Mexico.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
Milk cows.
Motherfucker ain't back in 20 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Took a natural disaster for me to come back.
Sorry. Things are crazy back there.
You don't even want to know the half of it. Like, all right, dude, here's a cow. Yeah, I was just tripping out. I was like, dude. And I don't know. I don't like to be like a doomsday thinker, but that's what it is, man. It's reality. No, I don't think anybody, like, maybe I'm just stressed out all the time. I'm like, shit is dangerous, guys.
Maybe you should breathe.
Yeah. I've had a lot of coffee.
Life is okay.
That's one of my vices I wouldn't be able to give up. Coffee.
Coffee.
I'm
Oh,
such an
man.
addict. I gave it up for a while, and I can give it up for like periods of time.
But you asked me two questions though. You said what vices can't you live with,
Yeah,
and then
three.
you said what can't you live without. That would be different because it wouldn't be a vice.
Okay. Yeah, let's go back. We were done with them, but let's retract.
I was like, wait,
Rewind.
wait a minute, alcohol.
Yeah.
That's a vice, but I could totally
Yeah.
live without alcohol. But what's something that I can't live
You
without?
think you could go your whole life without drinking ever again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible. It hurts.
It does.
We had
It
drinks
does.
the other night. I was fucking out for days, bro.
Dude, hangovers last
I
longer.
saw Luis like the next day on a Monday. We had an audition.
Oh,
at,
right.
on
He
the-
told me he saw
yeah.
you. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what's up? And I was like, oh, I was just with Miguel, and he's like, oh yeah, that's SP's. Yeah. By the way, SP's new spot is so sick. I love that house.
It's amazing.
I love that house.
It's amazing.
We're on the rooftop. I got kind of sick. I was all fucked up.
We went hard that day. We went hard.
We're like, we never see each other. Let's
You
get
ordered more Tito's.
Yeah, dude. I postmated all kinds of paraphernalia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Postmates, bring me all the shit.
I was like, who got the vodka
Yeah.
bottle? Yeah, Postmates.
Yeah.
It was Rick.
With
I was
those-
like, Rick, go
I got
Rick,
more.
man.
What the fuck was I getting at? Oh yeah, I saw him and I was like, dude, I was like, yeah, I missed you there because I didn't see him, and he's like, yeah, dude. I was like, I'm still recovering. I'm walking out of this fucking office, and I kind of bombed that audition. Didn't go very
After
well.
SPs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like I think that was a Saturday night, and this was
And this is
Monday,
Monday.
but I was
Oh,
still
yeah,
dragging ass,
man.
bro.
Oh, man.
And he's like,
It
no,
takes a
dude,
while.
yeah, Miguel's still like he's still hurting. I'm like, yeah, dude, so much. I'm gonna go throw
What
up.
happened? What happened to like being okay the next day after we drank?
Ugh, bro, those years left me 10 years ago, man.
Yeah,
5,
that's
at least
rough.
6 years ago.
That's rough.
But it's also like, you know what I think it is? It's like we were so desensitized. You got healthy as fuck too. You lost a gang of weight.
Yeah.
You know, I think when I like initially detoxed, I kind of fucked myself because now I feel everything. You know what I mean? Like when I was thick, Rick, I could absorb the punches.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of like Juggernaut in X-Men. Just a big fucking give me all of it.
So now you do coffee after your detox.
Yeah, bro.
I started into coffee too. Every morning I'm like, fuck, I know I
I
shouldn't.
love it though.
It's like a treat for me.
Oh my god. But it's just coffee.
I know, but it's
I cut
a
it out for
treat.
days, and I was fine. Like if I do more than
How many cups do you have a day?
2, this is my second today.
So 2 a day?
1 usually, but I'll do 2
Mornings?
sometimes. Right after my workout. Right after I wait till after I'm done with my workout, and then I'm fucking wired, and I go to the same coffee shop. They all know me. What's up, Rick? What's up?
You
Same
do
shit.
sweetener or
No
just
sweetener.
black?
Yeah, I do steamed milk in it sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Most of the time, and then no sweeteners, and then I'll black sometimes too when I'm feeling extra fucking hungover or tired.
Yeah.
So, well, we're about an hour in. I want you to leave the people off with your, I don't know, your final thoughts. What's your fucking, what would if somebody's like, what does Miguel stand for? Or whatever, I don't know. Whatever you want to leave the people off with. What's your message? What do you want to leave?
Well, I guess just that it's a crazy journey, man, and a lot of times we just forget to enjoy life and realize that we're so fucking blessed, even if it does seems like we're not. And it just take some time and breathe and look around you, and it's not about the destination, because that's never gonna keep you happy. It's about the journey. And
It's also, you never get there.
And you never get there.
Yeah.
Once you get there, you're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And no matter what we're going through, man, it's, like the Buddhists say, the law of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing. Not even our bodies or anything. So if you're going through some crazy shit, that's going to pass. If you're going through a really high and it's amazing, it's going to pass.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of accepting that everything is constantly changing
But not being pessimistic, obviously, about
not
it.
at all. Not at
Optimistic.
all.
Just
Yeah.
knowing that everything, this too shall pass. It's the whole thing.
Everything passes, and then just enjoying our journey, man. We forget, and then we start comparing ourselves, and that comparison to others, man, that's like death of our creativity, of our self-esteem, of everything, man.
It's a flaring up of the ego.
Yeah, man. It's a long journey, and we're on it alone.
Yeah. And together at the same time.
Yeah, alone meaning like there is no comparison,
And
we
no
surround
one's
ourselves with the
gonna
people
save
that are
you.
gonna
You got to save yourself.
You have to walk those steps yourself.
Like, people can help you get saved, but you got to save yourself. You got to do the work. You got to pull up your own weight.
Absolutely,
You got to do your own weight.
Absolutely.
Boom. Well, thank you for coming on, brother.
Thank you, Rick.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you,
man.
brother.
This has been great. What's your social media? Miguel Angel 1111.
It's Mig Angel 1111. MIG Angel 1111.
MIG Angel. That sounds like some secret agent.
MIG
MI6
Angel
Angel
1111.
That's kind of tight. Anyway, well, that's another episode for you guys. Episode 80. Thanks for hanging in here with us, guys. It's been a hell of a journey. We're on our way to 100. We're getting close.
Damn. That's awesome.
All right, see you guys next week. Thanks for coming on. Give them a follow. Give them some love. And good luck next week, brother. You're going to Canada.
Canada. Yeah, thank you, brother.
Do some things. All right, y'all.
Thanks.
See y'all next week.
Bye.